Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about transversals or parallel lines being intersected by another line. You already worked on some of this last week. Okay, so to kind of recap a little bit, this picture is showing you corresponding angles. So in this upper four, do you see how the red is in the upper right? And then down on these four in the upper right's the red. The two red are corresponding. They're both in the upper right and they are equal. The blues are corresponding because they're both in the upper left. The oranges are corresponding because they're both in the lower right. And the greens are corresponding because they're both in the lower left. And corresponding angles are equal. So if this red angle was 50 degrees, then I know this red angle is 50 degrees because corresponding angles are equal. Okay, alternate interior. So remember, interior angles are inside the parallel lines, and alternate's kind of like diagonal. So the two green are alternate exterior, and they are equal, and the two blue are alternate interior, and they are equal. So if this green one here was 110 degrees, then this green one here is 110 degrees. Okay, next we have alternate exterior. So exterior are on the outside of the parallel lines. So this orange and this orange would be alternate exterior, it's kind of at a diagonal, and the red would be alternate exterior, and those are always equal. And then the last is same side interior. So like these two black ones, they're interior and they're on the same side. And these are not equal, but they add up to 180. So same side interior angles always add up to 180. And the two blue would also be same side interior and would also add up to 180. Now you do have to be a little bit careful because sometimes a transversal might be going in a direction you don't always see, like here. And so sometimes people get confused. But for example, this red angle in this red angle would be alternate interior. So they're on the inside of those parallel lines. Or this green angle and that green angle would be alternate exterior, and those would be equal. Or this orange angle and this orange angle are corresponding because they're both like in the lower right, and they would be equal. Or I'll use the color black for this. If I change this to a black angle here, this angle and this angle would be same side interior, and they would always add up to 180. The last thing to be aware of on a transversal is you've got supplementary angles here in a lot of spots. Supplementary angles are two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So for example, one last thing, if I had a transversal that looked like this, and you told me this blue angle right here was 70 degrees, and you wanted to figure out that angle, well, it's got to add up to 180. Those are supplementary angles. So if I just subtract the 70, I'm going to see this one is 110 degrees because they are supplementary. So you've got lots of supplementary angles. That's another big thing with transversals. Two angles that are next to each other that should add up to 180 degrees.